Hey guys, I have a Maytag dishwasher and it wasn't draining properly. So what I did was I disassembled the inside so that I could access the accumulation filter. That's what they call it, and clean it out. And the first step to that is taking off these clips here to get this top rack out. And these clips, here's one of them. You can see, like on the side, there's a little tab here, and that fits into a metal rectangle on the on this. It's this one actually. And so what you do is you just press in like this, and then pull out. And when you do that, you'll be able to roll the tray out on the rails, and then put those rails back in so that you don't bang your head off them. And then just take the bottom rack out. Just that's easy peasy. So the next step was to take this little tiny nut out, and I did that with a needle nose pliers because it's a little more than hand tight, and that thing is really small. So be sure, I guess I'm going to get my needle nose pliers here. Be sure not to lose that little plastic nut. It's got 6 sides to it, and I mean, if you dropped it at this point, it would just fall down, but you know, just try to hang on to that. And then remove the spinner arm, and see there's still water in it, and clean these out. You know, just take a little toothpick or something. Don't break it off, but like just kind of clean out the little holes in that. And what we did was we filled the sink. My lovely assistant and I, she filled the sink with Dawn dishwashing liquid as a degreaser and soaked those parts. So now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out which screws come out first. So there's 3 screws here that attach this entire cover assembly, and then there on the inside piece there are 6 screws, and they're not your regular Phillips head screws. They're Torx screws, and specifically Torx size 20. So you need a special screwdriver, which I got, which has a star-shaped tip. It has a 6-sided star-shaped tip, and that prevents it. You know, that's like kind of so it prevents it from stripping. So these are pretty long screws. They're all different sizes, so make sure you put them, you know, where you'll be able to figure out. So there's 3 here. There's going to be 6 down below, and then there's 2 more later. So you can see me taking that off. So once you get that loose, it lifts up, and you can, and then this is where I see all the nastiness that's been collected in the bottom of the dishwasher. And it's amazing what you find down there. I mean, you think, oh well, it'd be like food and stuff, but mostly it's like paper that's like being repulped because it's just laying there, and plastic. A lot of plastic got in there. So you know, of course that's a good reason why it's not draining. So, but we're going to take the whole thing out, and so now I'm taking out the 6 screws on the middle ring here. You can see that. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to detach that middle piece from this kind of down pipe, and this flat part, this rectangular part, fits into that, and then the actual filter, there's a little round pipe that's attached to that fits into the filter assembly. So you have to detach all that in order to get the filter out. So that's what we're doing here. I can fast forward a little bit so you guys don't have to watch. But here's this is the one that has 6 pieces. Okay, you can see that there. It's pretty clean actually. It's not too bad. But you had to take that out in order to get it off of this piece right here. And then you'll need another tool, a Torx 15, in order to take this black impeller, I don't know what you want to call it, a gear, I guess, or something, but the black round device. So here I'm trying to struggle with this this up pipe that goes to the second, and what it does is it takes water and it shoots it into the arms that are on the top rack. But what you got to do in order to move that is there's this clip here. Let me show you this. It's a metal clip, and it's kind of like shaped like this from the side, and the pipe fits into it, and there's two little plastic prongs that fit on the sides, and that's what holds it in place. And it has a little kind of spring-loaded thingy there that comes out. It's not an actual spring, it's attached. It's just the way the clamp is designed. So what you do is, yeah, I took a flat nose screwdriver and I put it very gently between the plastic and the metal and just turned it a little bit, and then that got it loose. But there's one here and there's one up top too. And the one up top will fall down, and it's supposed to. They're supposed to come off. And they're very loosely held. In fact, if you can see this plus and minus I drew here, what you do is you take this part, you rotate it like a 45-degree angle. There's two squares on the bracket, and you kind of rotate it onto the plastic, and it holds there. And then this one will, it doesn't quite lock. It's just enough to kind of hold it in place. And it's really a finesse job. You have to kind of finesse everything at the same time. You almost need like 4 pairs of hands in order to do it. I'll show you that on the reassembly part of this. But yeah, for now, just getting this thing out of there. You can see when I finally got that clip. There's the clip that fell down from the top, right? So I'm looking at it saying, okay, that's supposed to do that, or you know, what's the dealie here? So yeah, but now that the pipe is loose, you can take it out. And this is when I come back with my flat nose screwdriver and pop it out. And there you go. So that little hose looking thing fits into this little round assembly there. So now there's the bracket on the top. This bracket's still hanging out on the back. The other bracket is on the top, but it won't go on without the pipe because the pipe helps to hold it in place. So I'm figuring that out right now. So now I'm still struggling with this. This is the accumulation filter, and there's all kinds of nasty debris on here, and I'm still trying to figure out where the last 2 screws are. So I will fast forward, and I'm cleaning it out with a sponge, and I'm cleaning up the water, and okay. And then I go, oh, here you go. There's 2 more screws holding this thing down. That's why I can't lift it up. And there's 1, there's 2 right here. So there we go. So yeah, just be patient with this. This is a long process, and you know, it's going to take you the better part of an hour, you know, half hour to disassemble it maybe and clean it out, and then and I don't know if you really want to watch me like cleaning up this mess, but there's, you can see there's stuff in the bottom of this little trench down there where the heating element is, and yeah, so once you get the filter out, soak it in dishwashing liquid. The Dawn dishwashing liquid has like an anti-greasing agent in it, and I took a toothbrush, and there's a screen, and you can just lightly brush that screen. Now you can't take that thing apart. You can replace it, but those things are pretty expensive. So I would just flush it with water and let it soak. And we let it soak for a good like hour and a half, I think, before we actually put it back together. And then you'll see that I'm cleaning out the debris from the bottom here. Like I said, I found a lot of plastic and stuff, and no wonder this thing was all gunked up. So, all right. So that's taking it apart, and I'll do another video because this is getting really long of putting it back together. All right, guys. I hope this helps you. Thanks. If it helps you, please subscribe.